40 chess. Yeah. 40 chess. 40 chess. Let's get it.
Yo, is that T-Dog?
40 chess. 40 chess. Hey. 40 chess. This a trade show. Patreon where the trades go. Tap in and watch. That's what you came for. Ain't gotta say my name. They know my name, bro.
What's good, man?
We got McNutted in ATM. Always start off the show with a trade from them. You should always make sure that your trade is in Patreon. Why not be a Patreon? Know you wish you could spend every day with them. Tap in and say what you gon' say with them. South Harmon can fill up a stadium. Next time you log in, make sure that you bring a friend. We about to kick off, let the day begin. Go follow the socials. 40 Chess FF is posted. If your trade is an F, you get roasted. Go like and subscribe for the crew. Apple, Spotify, and the YouTube. You know Cooper got the warp too. Let us give you a walkthrough. 40 Chess. This is 40 Chess.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back into the Dynasty Trade Show. Adam, we did a live stream last week, but it was during the day. Now we get to be vampires.
Now we turn the we turn the lights off again. You know, back the lights off.
I feel good. It's nighttime, so I don't.
Drinks are out. You know, we're ready to rock.
Oh, this is gonna go well. This is gonna go well.
We're back to what we're used to. You know.
Before we get started, remember our partners, Ultimate Autographs. Signed sh.it. Guaranteed they're doing a cool live break right now. Guaranteed.
Oh, 100%. You already know what's happening. Go get your signed shit over there, you know?
Adam, I think at the end of the month they always do the High Roller Club.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna throw down some.
You going high roller? You going high roller? Let's go.
Some high roller ones.
I love it.
Some really cool shit in there.
That's almost a perfect segue because today we are starting with the trade from Mike. If you do want your deals featured on the show, patreon.com/South Harmon. $5 a month gets you into the Discord part of the access where you get to put your trades in the completed trades channel. And Mike, let's see if you were a high roller. You know, let's put the money where the mouth is, right? Was he a high roller on this trade?
No.
Let's take a peek.
Come on, man. I ain't a high roller on this one. This is like
well, let's talk about it though. 12-team Superflex, best ball start 10, right? Shit auction 6. You're getting back Fields, Xavier Worthy, and a 25 third for Bryce Young. Just to let people know, he will be the first and the last deal on today. What are your thoughts on this? I know you've been kind of a Bryce Young. I don't want to say stan, but you've been truthing for him that the value's just gone way too low all off season, basically since the season was over, right? So seeing you trade him away, I think, well, at least one. I know you don't typically lean into this, but it has to be diversifying your portfolio a little bit. I don't know if that has anything to do with the trade, but you taking the package here for Bryce Young, talk to people through it.
Originally, he wanted to send Xavier Worthy straight up.
Well,
like, nah,
originally he was about to get sent to oblivion with that offer, right?
That's a hard fucking pass. Like, I'm good. I bought Bryce Young everywhere in the offseason for basically what the pick was that became Xavier Worthy. Like, I'm good, man. I'm not selling now. Selling now. And then he asked like what else he's got to add to it, and I'm like, I don't know. I'll just send you some shit. I'm not gonna do. You know me, Adam. I don't fucking converse too much in the DMs of Sleeper. Like,
yeah, Mike's
the
way to Mike's heart. Listen, that's part of knowing your league mates. The way to his heart is not DMing him back and forth. It's trading, offering back and forth. You know, get some discourse going through trade offers.
So I tried to think of something that wouldn't like bend him over, but made sense for me, and I'd be happy about it. So, you know. He already offered up the third as like the extra piece, and I'm like, you know what? Let me kind of do like a little process trade here. Let me buy into the fact that maybe Justin Fields by week 6 or 7 has unseated Russ and is a starting quarterback. Maybe that could be the world that I live in, where I make the quarterback swap, but I get Xavier Worthy in a third in a best ball league. Like, that makes sense for me. I'm willing to risk it for that. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay kind of betting on Justin Fields. And if I'm wrong, I still ended up with Xavier Worthy in the third. So,
sure.
I mean, it's not the sexiest of deals, but it was one that I was like, oh, fine, like, I guess. So this is what I sent him. He declined, not Justin Fields. I was like, all right, then I'm good. I couldn't find any other shit on your roster that made sense. And then like an hour later came back. All right, I guess. Go ahead and send it again. So, all right, say less.
What is interesting, Mike, so I put on the thumbnail, the keep trade cut ranking at just the quarterbacks, right? Because, Mike, when you take the wide receivers out of the equation, he is – I'll pull this back up just to make sure I don't speak out of turn here. I believe he was like – so it goes Drake May is at 15 right now, Dax at 16, which is just not real life. Tua 17, J.J. McCarthy 18, Jared Goff 19, putting Bryce at quarterback 20. So –
Interesting.
I feel like that's about right for the rankings of him. There's some rankings above and around him that I don't agree with, but I feel like that for him makes sense. I would take all those guys that I just mentioned ahead of Bryce for the record. Do you differ there?
I mean, you could probably argue some of them.
Yeah, like which ones would you argue? I guess is the question between like Bryce Young or Goff for you.
Goff. I would take Bryce Young.
Okay, so you take Young over Goff. What about McCarthy?
Probably JJ.
I agree.
A little sexier.
What about Tua?
Tua, definitely.
What about Dak?
Dak.
Obviously.
No
And then Drake May, obviously same thing for you, right?
Yeah.
So the one, and I could agree, depending on what you were trying to do with your team and your risk tolerance, like Jared Goff and Bryce Young are wildly different bets you're making, right? Bryce Young are hoping for a resurgence in value and points per game upside, where Jared Goff, you're betting on safety. Now, when I bring in the mix the wide receivers, Mike, what's very interesting on Keep Trade Cut right now, Xavier Worthy and Bryce Young are exactly like right next to each other overall ranks between those two positions. So, I mean, I feel like in best ball, first of all, you getting three pieces here where, like, I think obviously the older days where when I would quarterback hoard a lot, I would never even consider taking a single receiver almost for a quarterback because I'm looking to get plenty of assets back. The fact that you got three assets, one of which is an upside play at quarterback, and that 25 third, I mean, say what you want about it, but in a shit auction 6, I know how these leagues go. The 35 roster spots, you turn that third into something meaningful, and you've liquidated Bryce Young for three assets that have a chance to give you multiplication. Just simply, I'll take your side there. I'll say in lineup, I still probably would take your side, but I would be a little more hesitant if I was like a Bryce Young truther and I was really struggling to have bodies at the quarterback position after losing Bryce Young. Like if I basically was going to go into it now where Geno Smith's my only other body at quarterback 2 or something like that, I might have to hold here on Bryce Young's side.
Yeah, I think I'm probably with you in the lineup. I'm a little less apt to do it with the quarterback for the wide receiver and some darts, right?
Yep.
But best ball makes a lot more sense. Just
100%
pieces.
100%.
25 third is nice liquid currency in season. So not the greatest Bryce Young trade. Like I wasn't doing backflips about doing it, but I post even the mids.
I like it, man.
Even the mids.
Of course, I like it, Mike. I just had a draft and fade the field. I was hoping to get some trades from that, and I ended up making all three my first and my fourth round pick. I didn't make any trades on the clock, so didn't have any brand new ones this week. All right, here we go. This is a 12-team Superflex PPR where best ball still start 11 Spice Freedom Coalition, Mike. So B Hall is getting the 107, which is JJ McCarthy, 410 and a 25 third. He's sending away the 202, the 308, and the 206. So at the time of the deal, I think is how this works. J.J. McCarthy was the only pick that had been made. So for you, Mike, the 202, the 206, given the depth in this class, at this point we've seen in best ball what you're going to be looking at there, and the 308. I'll tell you the truth. Like the 410 is definitely a dart throw, but every single draft the 410s come around, there's been a guy there that I want to draft. It's not like a great crazy piece, but I like getting that back and you get a 25 third. I have a pretty strong feeling where you're going to lean, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Which side of this do you want?
I don't mind the J.J. McCarthy side at all, really, because if I think about it, there's only one out where I'm going, oh, okay, I want the 2 seconds versus this. Mm-hmm. And that's if Penix or Bo Nix fell to that 202 pot. spot.
Right.
Because if he did, you'd be sick to your stomach, right? Because
No, if Penix is 202,
and one of those quarterbacks versus one J.J. McCarthy.
Facts. Yeah, if Penix is 202 here, Mike, I say I easily would take the 202 side because now 206 is whatever. Benson, Brooks, I don't really even care. Anybody in that range. Adonai, it doesn't matter what you name that. If I get Penix versus McCarthy, obviously I want JJ, but the fact that I get a legitimate player at 206 plus the upgrade at 308 from the 410, I'll even let you go ahead and get that third a year out kind of as the juice to make this happen. But I'll say, Mike, if that's not Penix, I think, yeah, like, let's say it's Keon Coleman. That's pretty much what I've seen at 202 more often than not. Let's say it's Keon, and let's say it's Polk. Or there you go. Polk or Adonai, either one. Something like that, right? Keon and Polk, Keon and Adonai.
J.J. McCarthy.
100%. I think that's the thing about it for me is now this 308, Mike, could be an interesting piece of it. I still take JJ for the record there, but like I've seen at the 308. I'm trying to think of some names that might make it more interesting for you. Not saying you'd switch, but what would have to come at the 308 to make you think a little harder now all of a sudden? I'm trying to go through this in my head thinking about who's
any more that feels like the Kamani Vidal pick, right?
That's what I was going to say. It's got to be one of them running backs, no? All right. Let's say it's Kamani Vidal. Let's say it's Kamani Vidal. Go ahead. Now it's Kamani Vidal, Keon, and the 206. You still taking JJ?
I still take JJ.
Is it close, though?
It's closer, especially if you didn't need the quarterback.
For sure.
But I think JJ is just like, he's got ridiculous types of upside.
Now,
the only real reason like I want to come off of him is to get another one of these quarterbacks in this class plus some pieces.
Now, I don't think this was put here with – I think these are just – Blitz, for the record, he sent it to me, but today. So this wasn't like some kind of big planned out thing, I know. But it's interesting looking at this now, Mike, because the more I'm thinking about this, right? Like if I put Xavier Worthy – by the way, I've seen Xavier Worthy go at the 201, 202. He typically goes in the first. There's been times where if he goes in the 201 or 202, Mike, that means that Penix and Bo Nix both went in the first for the record. That's how that happens, right? All of a sudden, this trade could be kind of similar to yours if this was Xavier Worthy, no?
Could be.
So
especially if you put Fields as like that mid-second, late second round value.
Right, and Mike, let's say, for example, now obviously it's 3 versus 1 versus 1 versus 3. My point is that could you right now find a panic owner that might let you buy Fields for 2/3 or something like that when he's not playing 4 weeks into the season, possibly, right?
You could. Yeah.
So I think McCarthy, though, for me, and I think you've already said this on the show, I prefer him to Bryce Young. Like it's not like wildly different, but I think the situation McCarthy's in, plus he's a rookie, I think there's a little longer leash for his value to stay pretty high.
And ridiculously good weapons.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. The cast of characters around him isn't really a cast of characters. He's surrounded with studs. Bryce Young, you could argue, is more got a cast of characters around him, right?
I would highly argue that of all the rookie quarterbacks, J.J. McCarthy's probably got the best situation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Caleb, I would definitely think Caleb's is very close. If you want to lean one or the other, but I don't think I could even argue that Caleb's is definitely ahead of J.J. McCarthy's. I think to your point, J.J. McCarthy's probably in the best situation. Let's go into this next trade here. So 12-team Superflex PPR. This one's lineup start 10, so totally different format here. Mm-hmm. Jonathan Brooks versus Zamir White in the 401. Process play or player?
Oh, we'll take the player here.
Mike, and it's crazy. In lineup start 10, I'm so much about like knowing that 401 could be like Isaiah Guerrero, right? Like Isaac Guerrero. I know I could get that there, but
Guerrero.
Why am I? I knew I was saying it wrong, and I'm like, what am I? Why? Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Vladimir Guerrero.
There it is. That's what I was doing. Guerrero.
Mixed
Damn.
sports, buddy.
Yeah, that's bad. But Mike,
how much of that bourbon do you drink already?
I mean, I've been drinking all day, but not. It doesn't matter how much I've drank to be doing that. But Mike, I'll tell you, it doesn't matter who I get there at the 401. Realistically, I think Jonathan Brooks, and I'm in lineup start 10. I'm good with getting like 15 running backs on my bench in my starters. Like I'm good with having a just insane amount of running backs to just keep hitting you with volume. But there's kind of a breaking point to the process here, and I think this does fit that for me. I get it. I know people probably be like, no, Zamir White's going to be the starter, and 401, you're talking about getting some, legit athletes there. To me, Mike, I know I'm waiting on Brooks, but I'm willing to wait here,
I think Zamir White was a big winner, even though I was telling everybody to sell him just in case, right? Because we don't know what was going to happen during the NFL draft. And he was a big winner. Nothing really happened. Dylan Lobby happened, and that's a pass-catching back. That's really about it for him. But still, man, if I could up-tier from Zamir White like post-draft to sell somebody on this hope, like, yeah, he's going to repeat all those, 15, 16, 17 points per game performances he had last year. Now that he's a locked-in starter, by all fucking means, man, I'll go to Jonathan Brooks, toss you any amount of force that you want in a lineup start 10. Like, take them all, man. I'd do the Kevin Costner draft day. Like, I'll give you the next 3 classes of fourth rounders to make this happen.
I'll give you every fourth, and if I have an extra laying around for some reason, here, you can have that one too,
You can have that too, yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
I'll say
I'll take Jonathan Brooks here pretty easily.
Mike, I've been building, especially my lineup leagues, which obviously my portfolio is bigger best ball than lineup. But in my lineup leagues, Mike, I've been really a lot more comfortable with kind of just really grossness, like littered throughout my whole roster.
Yeah.
But Mike, if it turns to this, where everybody in the league is so down on running back values, in particular ones that are not guaranteed to give me production right away, I might have to go back to my old ways a little bit, Now, I don't have to pay as much as I used to, but I might have to go back to the old, Listen, man, running backs are still valuable if they're the right one, so stop it. I'm taking Brooks here. I guess I'm sure there might be people out there that make the case for Zamir White. I just can't do that.
I'd have a tough time. Maybe that guy who really is into one QB could send me a soliloquy on how great Zamir White is set up.
All right. Philly Wizwood out is back. Mike, how far has Kyren fallen? Is this too far? Zach Moss in a 25-second for Kyren.
You would think I'm driving the train, and this is the shit I'd expect.
This is a trade that it feels like someone that has been listening to Mike for a long time has finally just caved.
Just snapped.
Damn it. He's been saying this all along and just lost his mind. But, what do you think here?
I like the process minus the player. How about that? I like the overall arching theme of it. It's best ball.
But here's the problem. That is still the player.
I want better than Zach Moss as that process trade back piece. I just really do.
Mike, I'll tell you the truth. And 25 class. First of all, when we continue to project out how the running back class looks, Mike, I feel like we need to chill on that because the whole process of the class right now at running back in particular feels to be changing in a massive way. Trying to claim who's coming out. Trayvon Henderson, we were saying cannot wait for this kid to come out his freshman year, and he didn't come out. So stop it. We don't know when these guys are coming out, and I know it projects to be good. Was the reason I went there, but Mike, there's no way. I know if you have Kyren and you don't feel good about it, you might be wanting to trade out because you're unsure. I can tell you what I'm sure of is this is not what I'm getting back if I'm sending away Kyren Williams. By the way, I was really lucky. Mike, you were my favorite thing of the year is when you'd have Rams running backs excitement. When you were talking about me, Mike, I had 0 Kyren, so I dodged a bullet there. But yeah, I can't. What would Moss have to be? Let's make this helpful.
Well, for whatever reason, people really love Zach Moss. He's RB37 at him.
I was going to say the problem you don't realize is last year when Zach Moss was killing for the Colts, I don't know if you guys were tapped in then when Mike was very angrily, weakly, just shitting all over Zach Moss.
He did well last year. He did
I know.
Well. And I don't mind having him in a best ball team. I just can't do Kyren for this. And if I look at it, he's right around Marshawn Lloyd, Aaron Jones.
So yeah, so here, so let's go through this. Wait, Zach Moss
James
is?
Conner. Yeah.
Stop, man.
He's above James Conner, man.
Go sell Zach Moss. Goodness. You can't be serious, bro.
He's above Eckler.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. RB37. That sounded crazier than it was because RB37. Zach Moss or who? Sorry.
Jerome Ford.
Jerome Ford.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that's a Browns-Bengals question, so I can't tell you that my bias doesn't bleed there. But I just feel like the situation with Nick Chubb's uncertainty versus Chase Brown, I think, is going to be someone that gets some reps, even if Moss is the true 1A.
How about this? I don't mind it. I think it's probably still a little bit too light, but I'd be much more interested instead of Zach Moss to get Raheem Mostert.
I would 1,000%. So let me give you some names. Let me throw some in here. Kamani Vidal.
No, I'm good.
Okay, I'm gonna just stick with the process here.
Okay.
Bucky or Odrick. Let's just get through. Let's get through this. All right, thank you, Mike.
No.
Chase Brown. These names, by the way, that I'm mentioning are for inserting in hypothetical for Zach Moss.
I think I'd take Zach Moss over Chase Brown.
People are claiming that you seem quiet, like you're 55% of my volume. I don't know if there's any. Maybe I'll turn mine down. Hold on.
Maybe I'll turn mine up.
There you go. Oh, you already sound a lot better there. Okay. All right. So what did I just give you? Chase Brown. Which one? What'd you say for him?
I'll take Zach Moss.
Agreed. James Conner.
James Conner.
Okay. Kendre or Zach Moss.
Close. Probably
Same.
Zach.
Okay, take Zach. Marshawn Lloyd
Marshawn Lloyd.
and Jalen Wright.
Jalen Wright.
And Sharps.
Dude, found it. I turned myself up. For whatever reason, it was set at like 55.
All right. Beautiful. Well, you sound I actually need to turn
Got
my
it.
monitor down now. We're back. All right.
We're back. We're back.
All right. So, which one was that? Did I give you that? Oh, you said Jalen Wright you'll take. What about Charbonnet?
I'll take it. Toss up. I don't really give a shit. Probably Zach Moss, though.
I'm with you. But I think you start getting north of that. Like, you get me to Mike, if that's Ramondre.
Smash Ramondre.
Yeah, you get me to Najee, Kamara. I mean, shit, Mike, even B-Rob, Brian Robinson. Like, you give me those type names, and I'll take it for sure. So, and I know it's best ball, so I get the process with Zach Moss. Like, in best ball, it definitely even makes more sense. But here's what I'll say: I know Kyron's ceiling isn't going to be the same because Corum's going to eat into the fact that he's not going to get 81% of snaps or some crazy shit. But Mike, it wouldn't be surprising for me if he's still the 1A in a best ball format. Does give you some 80, 120 in a touchdown on the ground where it's like, did I just kind of really give up a still a very nice player for fantasy? That's why I struggle with this specific one.
A little too low for me. It's a little too low.
But not by a lot, but just Mike and I also have some Zach Moss problems. We're not the biggest believers in the plotter.
Fans.
Sorry. Sam Laporta, Mike. Dr. B. Harris is here. This is a 12-team Superflex, half PPR, lineup start 9, any given Sunday, all right, on the Saturday Night Trade Show. I like this. Sam Laporta, Devon Achane, Drake London. Let me tell you, Mike, while I love all those names, wait till you hear the bottom. The 104, the 106, and Tank Dell. This is a spicy one, buddy. This is a especially with no names on it. I like it when they don't give you the name so you can theorize. It's fun,
You just guess.
Yeah, you can like make up in your head scenarios of how it would go and why this would be exciting. Where are you at on this? Do you want A, Black Jedi, or B, Harris 724? I like how he tries to act all like tamed down to everybody else. He's B, Harris in Sleeper, but to us he wants everyone to call him Doctor.
Yeah.
This is a house of learned doctors.
You have to address him as so. I'll take the draft picks and take Dell here.
I had a feeling you might. I had a feeling that you might. All right, talk us through it, man.
104, 106, both of those picks could be quarterbacks. JJ McCarthy, Drake May, whatever. I'll take them. Over the best piece in the deal is Drake London. So either one. So if I say like, hey, the 106 could cancel out Drake London, the rest is fucking easy.
Yeah,
the rest is super easy.
Do you actually think Drake London's the best piece in the deal?
For Dr. B. Harris.
Oh, got it. Okay. I was going to say, all right, we were going to have some debate there.
No.
Okay. All right,
the
good.
best piece in the deal is the 104.
We were going to have some debate there, and I was going to have to really like think about what just took place because that did not sound like you. 104. Because, Mike, here's my thing. with this trade at 104, like if I was worried about not being able to replace a Drake London type, if you're a big receiver truther, the thing at 104 is I'm going to get one of Malik or Rome, guaranteed at a very minimum. So if that's like what your fear is, Mike, I know I can get one of those there and get a quarterback at 106, and then Tank Dell versus Achane. I could even give you a lean of Achane. I personally don't think they're that different value-wise for me. So, like, that kind of cancels out for me. Like, Tank Dell and Achane, I'd probably lean Achane, but it's close enough there. And at whatever's at 106, I'm going to take ahead of Sam Laporta, given that there's a half PPR and I don't even see tight end premium on here. I'd have to know that Sam Laporta is a god-tier player for me not to want to make this trade to the pick side.
That tight end line's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
And doctor, you did lose your doctor on this trade, it sounds like. From now on, you're just B. Harris.
Multi-year warp, the number one tight end historically comes in about 16th.
Oh, no.
Your number two tight end comes in at 35. So you got another big gap.
I wonder if I'm gonna try to see if they've gotten the draft done yet.
Your number three tight end comes at player 59, Adam. So there's your top three tight end spread. So if you want to know like how you can just break this down.
Yeah. 104 over London.
Let's
right?
say it is Neighbors. Put
okay.
a name to it.
There you go.
Neighbors,
sure.
Neighbors in London for you.
Let's say Neighbors for me.
Okay.
Are you Rome or Drake London, by the way, after the landing spots?
Rome.
Me too. Okay.
Tank Dell or Sam Laporta, knowing what I just told you about tight end warp.
We're having a conversation, but it's still probably Tank.
So wide receiver 18 is the one position right above tight end 3 in warp.
Okay. I mean, Tank Dell, I think Mike, that's actually a close conversation, but I actually think just process-wise, knowing everything you told me, I'll probably just take Tank.
Okay, if I told you like Sam Laporta's floor, right, tight end 5, he's going to be a top 5 tight end.
Okay.
That feels pretty good, right?
I mean, yeah.
There's 26 wide receivers better than tight end 5.
Well, that's the thing. So if he is actually tight end 5, I expect Tank Dell to be in that 26 to 30 range, right?
Correct. Yep.
So
whatever, even if that one's close. But then the 106 or Achane.
To me, Mike, 106 over Achane pretty easy. Now,
Okay.
I'm actually genuinely trying to think as I pull this up to see if the picks have been made. I'm genuinely trying to think of what scenario I would be taking the top side in. That's where I'm actually struggling to figure out.
If somebody royally fucked up with the picks, like say 106 was Bowers.
Well, yeah, now Laporta or Bowers, and it's Laporta. It changes everything. That would change everything to this.
The 104 and Tank Dell or Drake London and Achane.
I think there, Mike, I'll be honest with you. While I prefer Malik, I can understand just saying I want to have Drake London attached to a good quarterback, and Achane for Tank is kind of negligible, right?
That would require somebody fucking up the 106 pick, right?
Correct. I'm trying to figure out any given Sunday. Where is this damn? I don't know. I don't think I could do this, though. And I really just don't think I can do this. I want the picks.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for B. Harris out here with his big portfolio.
Yeah, where's
I love it. I found it.
A Black Jedi? What did he do? Well, picks haven't been made yet anyway.
They still haven't been made? Holy shit.
Yeah, they need to do their draft.
Okay. Picks have been made.
We will it's a wait and see, but Mike, here's the thing to me. I doubt that in this league that you're going to see them moved right away, but to me the currency's still crazy. What's that? What do you got?
A Black Jedi has Baker Mayfield, and that's it at quarterback too. So
probably
good on him.
Probably looking to get some QBs here. No.
Yeah, I would assume so. I would assume. Good target, man.
I was actually trying to say what I was trying to say though. The one thing I could maybe see is if the quarterback situation is Bryce Young, Patrick Mahomes, and Geno. Mike, what I was gonna say was if you're worried about possibly getting stuck with QBs that you can't move, if you know that market and you know like at 106, let's say you're gonna take a JJ or whoever, whatever, it'd probably be JJ or Drake May, whatever your quarterback preference is there, right? I think I wouldn't do this trade, but I could understand like if that was what you're fearful of, getting stuck with a quarterback that you're gonna end up just having to pick who you're starting. then I can kind of see it, understand it a little bit. But I couldn't personally do this. And I don't think his quarterback room of Patrick Mahomes, Bryce Young, and Geno Smith is that what I was speaking to, right? Like if you told me it was Bryce Young and Dak Prescott, so it's Mahomes, Dak Prescott, and Bryce Young, and you feel like you're going to end up just drafting JJ and they're not as movable in your format, like I could maybe see that a little more, but that just doesn't look like that to me here.
Man, he had the perfect A-Warp tight end room going on, too. Where it's just like Hunter Henry or Hayden Hurst or whatever fucking turd I find off waivers.
Mike, you know what this trade speaks to, by the way? I feel like while we know it's the play, and I try to do it, and I do it in certain leagues, Mike, I feel like for the majority of people, it's something that they can't actually do, is get themselves every week and all offseason to just look at that tight end room and say, you know, Hayden Hurst, tight end 1, or whatever fucking terrible turd is in there. Like, I feel like it breaks people's soul over time, you know?
Hey, last night on Fizzle Friday, I kept trying to talk him into buying Kyle Pitts, this guy. He still won't, though. So
I love it.
Fizzle's holding strong. He's like, fuck no.
Fizzle's right here, right now. Ready? Stay in with us, baby. Come on, baby. Hold strong. All right, Mike.
Did you get to watch that last night?
I did. Well, I tapped in midway through, and I didn't get to quite finish it, so I went back and rewatched the whole thing. I was dying when y'all was talking rappers. I was like, oh, boy, here, this is going to be amazing. I was surprised you guys eventually got to it, but I was surprised nobody said Darren Waller off the rip because
I had no idea he put out a song, man.
Oh, really? He's got, like, musical genes, too. Like, Fats Waller, I believe his dad, was, like, into music big time. So,
oh, man.
Yeah. You could tell like, the production quality and stuff, you could tell he knows what he's doing. I didn't think it was anything special, but
was it a Kelsey Plum diss?
That would.
No.
Can I say if he does? How sweet would that be now? Like, come on, where is it, Darren? Bring it out.
Derek.
Be so great. All right, Mike. But no, very good show. Make sure you guys are tapping into Fizzle Fridays. I think the other thing too is it feels very smooth and conversational, right? Like every transition to each topic just was really easy.
Just hanging out with my guy, talking
for sure.
Stuff. Fizz is easy to talk to.
Yeah, Fizz is easy to talk to. Also easy to listen to. Someone that just listened to an hour and a half of it.
You just wait till it's a Friday night with Koopa and Fizz.
Oh.
Fizz and Koopa.
I think
Koopa's got the neck tattoo.
I think it's gonna be pretty sweet.
No
Mike,
regrets.
I've been working on a warp tattoo that's just gonna be legendary for the kid.
Good.
And we're gonna make him. We're gonna make him get it while drunk in Canton. We're gonna find the right person. All right, Chris Olave in a third, Mike, or the 109 and 309. So 109 for the record. This for me anyway. Now, granted, every league is different. This is kind of if you include Brock Bowers just a value-wise, even if you don't love tight end in there, if it's a tight end premium league and it's enough of a tight end premium to where it's at least meaningful, let's call it 0.75, I think this is kind of where there's a big tier break, 109 versus the 108, right? And with Brock Bowers having a chance to go, with all that said, ahead of 108, that's why especially 108 for me is the tier break. So now 109, though, Mike, you're talking about basically Brian Thomas Jr., Xavier Worthy, like your pick of those guys in theory.
Yeah.
Or, and this is where it does become interesting. It's not the same for me, but because I'm seeing a double QB, double tight end party. It's a 2-quarterback league. It's early, but Nix and Penix are on the board possibly here too. So which side do you want, Castle Black or Kryptonite?
It's close based on your team build. You know, if it's me, I'm sticking with the 109 and I'm just drafting another quarterback just to tell the league to fuck off.
Sure.
Know? But
I had a feeling before I passed it to you. I was like, let me theorize that this is something you could do, which you got to be a little maniacal, and Mike is that, and I knew you might have that feeling, so I like it.
So, I mean, I do that. I did it quite often this year, right? Even though I did see a YouTube comment that Mike always talks about quarterback hoarding, but we never see if they're successful. Just know I got the fucking receipts, okay? It is successful.
I want to see him.
Adam's been there and watched me bend people over, and I've watched Adam bend people over in quarterback hoard, so.
For sure.
Keep your hating ass out of the comments.
I do want to see, like, I definitely do want to continue to see the trades. I always enjoy in a quarterback hoard when the trades happen, for anybody that's doing it. Those are some of my favorite to, like, look at and review. But to the point, Mike, so if you had this scenario, you would be taking the 109 and you're going to take probably Penix or Nix.
I think it's a 50-50. I mean, some scenarios I will, but you know me. Like, I have a hard time saying no to the quarterback, but I get it. Most people aren't in that, so I don't think it's a bad deal to get Chris Olave for the 109 and the 309 and still get a third on the way back, right?
Sure.
That's not a terrible deal.
Right.
Olave, though, if you remember, I sent him away quite often in the offseason for like the 108 plus. I think I got a second sometimes. So attached to it, got a little bonus or a juice piece. So I'm very much like okay with liquidating Olave, but that was in a lot of best ball leagues, Adam, where I'm really trying to get multiple assets. So this is a little different. Lineup start 11. It's not the worst thing in the world to get Olave. It's a very fair deal. If I'm Kryptonite here, though, really depends on what he did. If he just stuck.
Can I tell you what happened? Can I tell you what happened?
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Let me just preface it. If you stick and pick, and it's just Brian Thomas or Xavier Worthy, fuck out of here, man. You lost. If it's Brock Bowers, you fucking lost. That's how it shakes out. Now, go ahead. Spoil it.
Bo Nix.
All right. All right, my man.
His quarterback room before this, though, he did have Will Levis as quarterback, too, in a 2-quarterback league. So it's now Bo Nix, Will Levis, and Jordan Love as his quarterback room. He has Ramonde and Demont as running backs. Puka and Rome are his receivers, as well as Tank Dell. And then double tight end Luke Musgrave, Isaiah Likely. He's got Rashee Rice, Keon Coleman, Chris Godwin on the bench.
Okay.
So that's his team. And now Castle Black, though. So Castle Black gets Chris Olave. His quarterbacks are Lamar Jackson and Brock Purdy, Mike's favorite, as well as Dak Prescott. So, I mean, Mike, can I tell you, though, while I think the process I understand for Kryptonite, and I'm not even going to argue against it, can I just tell you what this actually exemplifies, though? While I get what happened, why were you able to make this trade? You had an excess of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You had an excess of quarterbacks, and you didn't actually trade one away, but you did in the form of a draft pick. So now all of a sudden, Mike, you're able to get Chris Olave, and you're able to stay fluid with Dak Prescott, with Brock Purdy, and with Lamar. And I want to be the person that Chris Olave is. I want to be the one to get into Chris Olave on this side. And I think here's the thing. This is not truly a quarterback horde, right? But you have 3 of the top 15, let's say. And one thing is now, while you don't necessarily have to go all the way through the quarterback horde, but doing this in its own way, it puts that pressure on people to field the quarterback horde, but you're not actually trying to have to go break them off in a trade. You're making them try to fill voids in their lineup similarly. So I just wanted to walk through that. Like, that is why part of that happens, right?
Conventional thinking, and it's been some pretty bad advice now looking back in hindsight, was talking about anytime you trade away a quarterback, you better get one back. If you're the one with the excess, you're in the position of power where you don't need one back, and you probably don't even fucking want one back.
Nope.
I'm good. Don't pollute the fucking deal with your shitty backup quarterback. This is what I need for my team.
Yeah.
That's why the excess of quarterbacks, and then furthermore, quarterback hoarding, works out usually in the end. Because you're in that position where, like, I don't need one back. Don't put one in the fucking deal.
Yep.
Castle Black's able to get, if he loves Chris Olave, he loves Chris Olave, but he's able to go after that tier of wide receiver with a tier of quarterback like Bo Nix, essentially, and make it a 1-for-1 deal because he's in that position. He's not going, I got to figure out how I'm going to replace QB3 now.
Yep. Well, I mean, and the thing is, too, these, like, having, like, I think right now for me, this is not, Bo Nix would be one I would take at a certain point. Obviously, I have taken him. I have plenty of shares. But, like I feel like if I'm at McCarthy and North of the quarterbacks, like, I'm willing to go up to 4 and not even really call it a QB horde. Obviously, that's what I'm looking to do at some point is extract. But the reason I say that is the quarterbacks are high enough up the board there that it does drain out the pool that people are comfortable starting or feeling like they have actual players in there, right? Like, this guy had Will Levis that took Bo Nix at 109, but he didn't feel secure in Will Levis, right? So he drafts another similar value guy in Bo Nix, and I think that happens when you have 3 or 4. And if you have more, the more you have, if they're in that, like, top 20 range especially, Mike, that puts pressure on everyone else in the league, in a 12-team league like this.
Because there's, like I talked about it before when we were doing it, there's a very finite range of quarterbacks where people feel very comfortable about. Right?
Sure.
This is why I don't try to QB hoard with Geno Smith and Aaron Rodgers and those types. Matt Staffords and Derek Carrs.
Yeah, those are the ones that you know you're going to get
they're
stuck
like,
with.
"Well, they're going to fucking die."
Right. And now we'll see what happens this year. One thing that happened last year, which I think is where people are a lot more resisting or not wanting to – resisting on the other end of buying quarterbacks in a quarterback hoard or resisting wanting to actually try to implement it, is the fact that there were so many managers that were rewarded by the chaos of random turds actually being usable. And I don't know that that's going to be here to stay as a formula, but that's probably what's contributing to market value is what I just wanted to say.
I pray every night before I go to bed that there's somebody out there touting that, like, I don't need quarterbacks because, look, I could just find them off of waivers and, I won a league last year. Please, run that shit back. Keep doing it. Eventually, it's going to come back at them. It's going to come back, and they're going to be like, fuck, man. Lamar Jackson just put up 25 points per game. Patrick Mahomes put up 25 points per game. Shit. How am I supposed to compete with this?
For sure.
I really pray.
I'm trying to. I'm pulling. I want to pull up this comment and just see. I don't know if I misread it. I'd counter something Mike said about wanting only top 18, which I agree with. But if you have 3 to 4 of them, it's good market manipulation play to get someone of those guys and force their value up.
Sometimes I get it, Jason. Like, I've been in this boat where I've tried to do it too. But Adam can attest to it. Those are usually feel like the guys I end up getting stuck with, and they just die on my fucking team.
For sure.
Right? It's like, I need a quarterback. Okay, well, I got these guys. You want one of the cheaper ones or one of the more expensive? Oh, give me the more expensive one. I'll pay the iron price for the big guys. You can keep the shitters.
Mike, here's one that I wanted to get to. And normally I'm talking shit to Blitz about don't put your damn trades on here. Just messing with them, right? But
as long as it's not a 1 QB one, we're good.
What I like about this, though, Mike, is he is acquiring – like this is a 5 for 2 in a best ball start 12. And he's getting 2 quarterbacks, though. So just check this trade out here. 12-team, and so we can kind of keep this same conversation rolling here. 12-team Superflex PPR, 0.75 tight end premium, best ball start 12, Nicktoons Brawl. 102 is Jaden Daniels, and the 202 is Michael Penix, Mike. Okay?
Yeah.
You're sending away, though, while all of them obviously getting older or valued far down the board, a combination of Travis Kelce, Derrick Henry, Amari Cooper, Terry McLaurin, and Jerry Jeudy in a best ball start 12, Mike. The 5 for 2, the package or the package of the new incumbent top 10 quarterbacks.
Now, I don't know what Jank Mode's team looks like, but this is the kind of deal where both squads could walk away happy. Blitz wanted to rebuild desperately, blow this fucker to the moon, and puts his assets into Jane Daniels and Michael Penix. Like, that's a good move. Send away. Take all these shitters, these old guys. These old guys ready to die at a moment's notice. You take them all. But also, if I'm Jank Mode and I'm like, I already had a good framework of team, I get to send away 2 assets for 5 guys who are going to make my lineup almost every single week.
Can I tell you what's crazy is half of that was true. Like, it worked out for Blitz, and that's Blitz, by the way, he's in a nuclear rebuild situation. He has a lot of his assets now tied into quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix. He also has Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones. So he's got a little light quarterback horde of his own going. And then he has, George Pickens, David Njoku, but a lot of young Ladd McConkey draft picks, and he needs to totally clean this up. This looks like either a failed contender or a team that won at some point, and now it's time to totally,
I think he said in the chat he took over this orphan just now.
Orphan,
okay. Last year it was the champion. It was the
boom. So while he didn't win it, he's taking over the guy that won or girl that won and just said, here, someone else handle the rebuild. I don't want to do that. So that makes sense. Mike, and I'll tell you, Jank Mode, though, on the regular so the redraft total, when you organize by that, basically all the ADP values, Jank Mode is a jank team, brother. Like, it is. After this package of 5 people, it's still towards the bottom in compete mode. That's crazy, man.
So whenever I judge a best ball team, I just skip right past the starting roster.
Sure,
because I don't give a shit. On the bench, Kirk Cousins at quarterback.
Fine.
First depth.
Very fine.
Chase Brown, Tyler Algier. Okay. Not bad depth running backs.
Tank Bigsby, Banacanda, not good running backs.
Judy. And
Trey
then your
Lance.
wide receivers just fall off the fucking face of the earth.
Not great.
The bench depth is so bad that Xavier Leggett and Adonai Mitchell are in a starting lineup.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he does have picks. Can I tell you the weird part about this, Mike? He's got 225 first and 225 seconds. Like,
he's got to go buy more.
But here's the thing. This move is this is a one-way door. You go through this door and you are not coming back out this way. You're not going back to the youth. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I get doing this if your team's positioned right, but now you have to find a way to make both of these firsts and seconds into players, and that's just not very easy a lot of times.
Well, I guess we probably should have known too, because if you look at the trade, the 102 and 202
are his teams.
Jank mode.
Yeah.
I'm
this
just
is terrible.
I'm saying hypothetically though, Adam, if I had a 102 and 202 in the rest of my roster, like say maybe I was the 7th or 8th team last year, and I
totally get it.
Pick.
Of course.
I'm like, listen, this roster is literally ready to go. If I could take 2 assets and flip them into 5
lean into
pieces,
this. Big
let's
time.
fucking go for this year. I get it.
100. I would in the right situation, Mike. I would be the one making the other side of this trade. Can I tell you though, Mike, what I would have done if I would? Can I give Blitz a little tidbit? If I see someone doing this, what I would have done in Blitz's shoes, right? He's already probably going to lock up the 101, but I'm looking at my team being like, all right, I got pieces like David Njoku, I got Najee Harris, I've got George Pickens, right? This is before the draft of Lad McConkey, Brandon Cooks, quarterback, even more quarterback. Maybe I throw you back a Baker or a Dimes. Like I'm gonna do what I can to be like maybe I help even make this a 8 for 3. But I'm looking to take off his first because he wants to move this at some point anyway.
Get them 25s, right? Yeah, Blitz blew up his team, got 2 good pieces, but then when you look at his draft capital for the future, it's like, yeah, your 26 picks are there, but you only have your first and second and 25. That's it. No extras.
Right, and they only draft 3 rounds, which means that's kind
interesting,
of wild.
man. Those fucking waivers post NFL.
Oh, waivers are, dude. You better.
Rookie draft have to be nuts.
I would have made somebody give me a little off-season fab, but no, I think Mike. What I'm doing here though is I'm trying to see if I can pluck his 25 picks because he wants to clearly go win, and I think he's got a long way to go. Jank mode, nothing personal, but Mike and I talk about best ball at nauseum. Play it, but like this team needs a ton of depth. So. If I was Blitz, I would have seen if I could have leaned into betting against them for the future too.
But he's got 4 really good picks in 25.
Of course. But what does that buy you?
2 seconds.
Let's just hypothetically build that out.
Could it buy you another package like this? Could you send those 2 firsts and 2 seconds and get 5 or 6 players just like this off somebody else?
To Blitz. I think they should go back and make another deal.
What's he? You pull Najee, David Njoku.
Najee Harris, George Pickens, David Njoku, Brandon
Baker
Cooks,
Mayfield.
and Baker.
And toss me Daniel Jones too while you're at it.
Sure.
Shithead.
Sure.
Get all these quarterbacks.
I think you probably should ask for a couple bodies that sound terrible, but like throw Miles Sanders in. Who knows? Throw, any of these guys that might give you anything. But
Zeke.
Yeah, there you go. Zeke Elliott. He's up there higher. Chuba Hubbard, stuff like that. I'm trying to probably, at this point, like, if you're gonna rebuild, I want the 101, 102, and 202. So if you're jank mode, I've already gone away from that. Giving up my first is definitely scary, but at this point, I think you got to lean into what you're building.
There's a couple other teams that are pretty shitty in this league too, so you can explore. Right, and
I think the thing is, though, Mike, if you were to make enough trades that are reasonable with those futures, you can at least get yourself into the mix of a playoff team here. And with what you did, I feel like you have to at least try. You took on all these players that are just why, right?
Yeah, he did. I don't know if Blitz looked at his team before he made that deal, but yeah, I see somebody in the comments said Blitz honey dicked him.
Yeah, Skeletor's not wrong. You ain't wrong, buddy. All right, Mike, last trade of the day, and as I told you, I promised we'll get Bryce Young back.
Peter, new member.
How about Peter stacking? All right, Xavier Leggett here.
He
Stack
did stack.
Stack it up, man. Mike, this is what? For Cooper Kupp and Josh Jacobs? Brother.
Peter, making a splash.
All I needed to see was Superflex, and this is like, what are we doing?
Most valuable piece in the deal.
Bryce Young.
Second most valuable piece in the deal.
Can have a debate, but I'll take Leggett. I mean, you can have a debate, but I'll take Leggett. Now, I will admit I've seen his values in different circles wild. I've seen people that really like him. I think Barry might be towards the top of liking Xavier Leggett, and I kind of like Leggett too, but like I'll just tell you, I've seen people that are like, oh, I don't want any Xavier Leggett and all this stuff.
True, and it's wrong of me probably to like Xavier Leggett as much as I do.
I'm torn, Mike, because I want to buy in, but I've just been a part of buying into the. This is nothing about. Let me just say, remove Leggett for a second. This is in a process play that I have bought into these type of players a lot, and it's burnt the fucking shit out. I can't feel on those hands. All right,
it's a bad bet. And nobody's gonna.
Julius Santana, I can't feel my face. I mean, it's burnt me a lot. So, Mike, I'll just say that for me, that's part of my reasoning is just in knowing that this type of profile, where super athletic, the sketchy, profile though as a whole, as far as production and checking boxes, right?
Late breakout, 50-year production.
Exactly, all of that. It makes me have a hard time buying in. But let me just tell you though, at cost, Mike, why not? What am I losing here?
Yeah.
Like Cooper Kupp would have to have a absolutely ridiculous healthy season this year to have a massive value gain. And even then it wouldn't be massive. It'd be a few rounds. Josh Jacobs is, in a better situation. Maybe we get 2 years ago Josh Jacobs closer to that production, but older running back. They just drafted a day 2 guy and an aging wide receiver that's really on his last leg. Like, I'm not giving up. It's not like I'm giving up anything crazy. Here, I'm willing to take this bet.
I think the longer it's gone on to with Josh Jacobs, just to speak on him, post NFL draft, where I was very like, whoa, okay. Yeah, R.I.P. to your Keenan Allen too, by the way. Sorry, God. But I was very like, man, this is not good for Josh Jacobs. Adam, I think it's gotten even worse. Like the longer it's gone on, and the more I've heard the GM and the coach talk about how exactly they want to deploy Marshawn Lloyd and what they envision for him, and how excited they were to get him in the door. They're gonna literally just put him 1-for-1 in that Aaron Jones role. And if you say anything about a Matt LaFleur offense and the running back position, the Aaron Jones role is the fucking one you want. If Josh Jacobs is relegated to this A.J. Dillon plus role, it's like, fuck me. How bad is that?
Now let me just give you. While I get you, I just think I don't think there was a problem with A.J. Dillon's role. I just think there was a problem with the player. A.J. Dillon was trash. He's been garbage there the whole time. There was a little window in the playoffs, like what was it, 2 years ago, where we had like a few really crazy high performing games, but.
We got that as December gets here, no one wants to tackle AJ.
Oh my gosh, you can't hit him. He's too big. The guy has been horrible, and they retained him. I think just to make. They didn't know if they were going to get Marshawn. It sounds like they probably didn't think they were. I was just going to say though, Mike. I don't think it's a indictment of Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs is a good player still. I think he's someone that is talented. But to your point. It wasn't a good thing that they did. That they drafted Marshawn Lloyd. And if you look at his contract, it's pretty front loaded as far as monies and guarantees and how they're how long they're going to keep him as the. Even if you say forget the roles for a second, even if you claim Josh Jacobs is a 1A in the offense, right? Yeah, you're on mute. Sorry, pal.
The only question I have is, what else was available at the 204? Just a little squinty eye for Peter here. What else?
So let me ask you, where do you have him, and who would you take ahead? Let's just, for the sake of argument, say the quarterbacks are gone because we don't need to go down that path. We know that it's that way. Go ahead.
Let me look at the newly formed South Harmon ADP. Updated by Tom.
I love this.
Within the last couple of days.
By the way, yeah, go check that out. Really cool. Me and Koopa and him.
Tabs now. All right, so we're not fucking constantly fighting each other on this shit.
It's really fun.
So at the 204 right now in ADP wise is Michael Penix Had him.
I was going to say, let's just for the sake of argument, because you can listen to this show if you just rewind a little bit. You can listen to all kinds of our content where Bo Nix and Michael Penix, Mike, we don't need to tell everyone that we would do that ahead of Leggett.
So I will say this. Ladd McConkey. Ladd. No question. Even if I had Bryce Young, the stack does not come into play.
You'll take Ladd's ahead of him. All right.
Jonathan Brooks.
Okay.
Get the running back quarterback stack for fuck's sake. Stack that up.
Yeah. Unless I'm rebuilding, I agree with you for sure.
Bo Nix.
Yeah, quarterbacks. So Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Jonathan Brooks, Ladd McConkey. Okay, we got 4. Who else?
Keon.
Yeah. These guys, for the record, though, are all ahead of this 204 in ADP, except for Michael Penix happens to be right on it.
Just getting there.
Yeah.
Trey Benson.
Yep.
Okay. Michael Penix, we talked about. All right. Now, here's, I think, where the conversation starts, though. It is at the 205, so it's not super egregious because there's a scenario. I wonder which one of those guys I listed off fell to that 204.
My guess, Mike, at least from what I've seen. Now, for the record, the most recent draft I had, Jonathan Brooks fell to the 207, like, and I'm like, this is just what is happening? Nick got to trade up to the 207 to get him. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But
fucking Nick, how does he get that lucky?
Mike, I had no picks in the second and third, and that was one of the things where I had 3 first, and I'm like, God, this is killing me because I don't have anything to speak to these guys. He traded a 210 and a future second to go get Brooks. I thought it was a good deal for him. Now,
That's
what
a
else?
Great deal.
Yeah, I was like, what are we doing? But point is, I think the one that's most likely based on the drafts I've seen is Trey Benson.
Okay, so. Because complete honesty, the guys that go after, right? Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Leggett. I don't give a fuck who you like more. I'm gonna go Xavier Leggett more times than not.
Sure, but the whole rest, there's a big tier after. I think where it's, to me, Polk, Leggett, Adonai, Ricky P. Pick your flavor.
Blake Corum, you can throw him in.
Yeah, sure. Too. Yep. But I think those guys are there, right?
Pick your dudes. I just wonder because it is the 204, so it is literally right on the borderline where.
That's a good point.
I'm doing some fucking math here in my head. There's got to be one of these guys. The math ain't mathin'.
For sure.
If it is Trey Benson, though, let's just hypothetically say it is Trey Benson.
Can I tell you, Mike? I probably more often than not will take Trey, but I don't have a problem with it, honestly.
If you had the stack too, you already had Bryce Young. You're getting him in this deal. You okay with that?
Yeah, Mike. I'll tell you right now, I will take Trey. And while I do like him, let's remember it is still a round 3 guy. And
sure. And James Conner refuses to die. No matter how many times we try to bury him.
What's dead may never die.
He's the Ironborn.
He is. But like Mike, I think I could argue while I would take Trey, I could make a pretty good argument if you made me that Trey Benson is as at the top of the tier that we were just talking about with Leggett and with Pearsall and with Adonai. Yep. Now, I actually am with you. I have Trey in the same tier ahead, but at the back end of that type of a tier. So, I don't have any problem with it, especially if you have Bryce Young. You just got him in this trade, right? Like I'm good with it.
I mean, heaven forbid somebody took Adonai too early or
now let me
Pearsall too early. And
let me give you another one though. Because while we might be breaking his balls here, Mike, what if this was already done deal and this is Xavier Leggett, it's the piece of the trade. Like we're after that part. Yeah,
he already took him. Yeah. All right, then fuck. Who gives a shit?
Then it's just Xavier Leggett, right?
Who gives a shit? It's already done. Like there's no taking it back.
But if you did select it, yes, I think you bring up a good point. But Mike, if you tell me it's just again, this is if we don't know this, we don't have the draft board. If it is Trey Benson, I really don't have any quarrels at all. Now, I will admit, Mike, if it's Keon Coleman, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Jonathan Brooks, Ladd, beat Brian Thomas, no.
Miss me. I'm with you. I wouldn't, as much as I love Xavier Leggett, I'm like, nah, I can't even do that for him. Even though his voice is amazing, that accent is incredible.
It's pretty sweet. The country junk from Leggett is. What's amazing about it to me is every time, like I know it's inherently coming. Like I know before he actually starts talking, like I have it in my head what his voice is, but it still surprises me every time. It's that country, you know?
I've heard that voice a billion times, right? I used to live in the South and live in Memphis. I've heard that voice.
Mm-hmm.
but not at all when I pictured Xavier Legette and this fucking Adonis that he is, just
Right.
built like a brick shithouse, and how dynamic he is. And I'm thinking, okay, he did go to South Carolina. He's from the South. He might have a little drawl. That shit is Farmer Fran.
I was gonna say it is to the nth degree. Like, if you were to do rankings or like create a player, right? You
Number
gotta
one.
put the all the way to 100, like on the draw. It's way up there. It's kind of
love it,
amazing
too.
too, because the vernacular that he has with the draw is like, wow, damn, this is crazy, bro. This is awesome.
And he's such a good-hearted person too. He can't even lie to you. I know Canales had to like walk that shit back when Xavier was like, "Oh, they told me they're gonna draft me. I ain't following past them."
I'll be honest, that was pretty sweet. I love the just come out and say it. Fuck it.
He's
Although
so fucking
we saw
happy
that
in
we saw
every
that go
interview.
pretty
I
bad
love
for
that guy.
Kirk, right? Like we saw that work out pretty poorly for Kirk. It feels like I don't think I actually had any reason why they drafted Penix, but it's like, oh man, I was so excited. He basically admitted to tampering. You know what, motherfucker? Michael Penix, 8 overall. How's that?
So I got to get that CeeDee Lamb jersey ordered. Still pay up for my bet from Fizzle.
I love
But
this.
I'm gonna order an Xavier Legette jersey, and I'm gonna get a Cooper DeJean. Gotta get one.
Can I say, first of all, not doing the first round with you guys was kind of not being able to see what everyone's takes were kind of sucked. Went back and watched some of it, but I have not sat down and watched like the full 4 or whatever. But the first part of the next day, Mike, you're just too happy for me. Like
Cloud9, man.
God damn it! How does this happen every time I want to stream with Mike in a draft? Something
Every year.
amazing happens to the Eagles.
I love Howie. Speaking of the draft stream,
Yeah.
I sat down today. I went through all the prize winners. There's some people out there who never emailed me, by the way. So if you won something-
It amazes me. Like we did the giveaway last year where three giveaways and I the whole time no responses. So if you won, to Mike's point, please let us know before we have to re-roll.
I may have missed it. I tried to watch the stream back and like find out who it was. But
Right.
listen, I'm gonna put the final onus on y'all. If you watch our content and you won and you're a diehard supporter, email me tdk@southharmonff.com. Email me. Tell me what you won. I'll double check it. But I need your name and your shipping address so I can get that stuff sent out. I got quite a few of them, but there was a few I was like, who the fuck won this? And why didn't they email me? But listen, if you don't, that's fine because it's going up back here. Now that I got my new tripod, we're all set up here.
Yeah, but by the way,
We're good.
the new tripod with the wide view is I had to adjust mine when we first started. I was like, damn, I look like an absolute giant. Like I was way all up in here, and you were. Yeah, I like the new tripod setup you had. It's pretty sweet.
That's how I looked forever.
I know. Well, I kept adjusting for that, and then it's like you were way back.
It's Brucey's time to shine. It's Brucey's time.
Well played, Mike. I kind of really want to get. This is probably a horrible idea. 'Cause one, I'm not a Giants fan. 2, has nothing to do with it. But I go to New York all the time now, and I know they're going to suck. I really want to get a Malik one. Something about that alternate with the 1. It just, I don't know, something about it that really clean about it to me. I kind of want to get one of those.
Well, just don't jinx them like the rest of the fucking.
What? That's
games.
why, Mike, I said I'm not going to do it because there's all those things. Plus, I have a history, unfortunately, of
Is that the number he's wearing? Number 1.
yeah.
Oh, dope. He's
Yeah.
really following in that Jamar Chase role.
That was where I was like, man, it was something about the 1 jersey. Like I was looking.
I tell you what you could do.
What do you
right?
got?
When you get on stream, you can get the alternate or number 1, but just get last year when it was Paris fucking Campbell.
And I can say I'm a Ohio State truther. 40 chess, right?
Because if you bury him, ain't nobody gonna give a shit.
Nobody's gonna care. Mike, there's some. I was just cause I wanted to see what the jersey choices were. Like Rome's wearing 15. I didn't
Rome's
see-
15. Oh,
Yeah.
you into the number? I don't know. What's the Legette wearing? Did you know? Or
I was starting to look, but Mike, so I didn't see his yet, and I don't know if he hasn't decided or if what the situation is. Let's see. It's a good question. I like this. I don't. Oh,
I gotta
17.
find out.
It's saying 17, which I don't know.
17.
That's what he wore in college, though, so I don't know if that's a lock. I'm not seeing it on the team shop. I just saw that on basically on
Adonai's
Google.
gonna wear number 10.
Yeah,
Number 10's gonna look pretty fire on
pretty
Adonai.
sick. Yeah.
I can
Anyway,
find that one.
because I'm curious about Legette, if you're going to get the jersey, what that's going to be. 17 is what he wore in college, no? Oh, it looks like actually, yeah, he is wearing 17, Mike. I see him
Well,
here in a couple jerseys, a press conference.
You just write Troy Franklin off for good. He's going to wear 16 for Denver. It's a terrible number.
R.I.P. your Troy Franklin shares. Sell it now while there's any hope.
I love it. Yeah. You got to go through each.
Wait,
individual.
Malik's wearing 9. I thought it was
9.
1. I thought it was 1.
Slim knows a Giants fan, so he knows.
All right, let's see.
You're
right. It was. They had it at 1. Mike, they had his number 1 jersey on the Fanatics, which is why I guess maybe I was actually looking at buying the jersey. So it could have been. That could have just been one of those like
first
what they had for the draft.
1.
Yeah, for number 1. That's probably. What
I did see somebody freak out. I don't remember who the fuck it was. They got taken and they were holding up the number 24 jersey and they're like, "Oh, terrible number. Think of Sky Moore." And I'm like, "That's just for the draft class, by the way, just so you don't freak out too much." Right? That's 2024. Yeah.
Oh. I don't mind 9, but it doesn't hit the same as the number 1. 9 reminds me of Vince Carter, USA.
The only one that killed me was Isaac Orendo wearing 49 for the 49ers. And I'm like, oh, no, not 40s.
I seen that.
Fuck, Alvin Kamara is the only one who made the 40s look
He's
cool
got to transcend it now. He's got to transcend it, right?
49
is like, though, 41 at least has a little bit of that appeal. Like, not as much, but the 49 is like the grossest of the 40s, too.
That's a fucking linebacker.
That's a fullback number. Well, they don't even carry. They don't even play no more. That's a total fullback number.
Draft picks received jersey numbers for Giants minicamp. It is 9. Tyrone Tracy going to be 29. I don't mind that number. You got a number in the 20s. Good job.
Like Tyrone Tracy, I've been getting off waivers a lot. He's actually made it through some drafts, undrafted, surprisingly.
Not in shit leagues.
No, of course
not. In the third round everywhere now.
Yeah, he's pretty early in shit leagues.
Koopa out here too. Did you know we started a draft today, a 7-round rookie draft, and I'm pretty sure we're done. We're going to be done before the end of the night, because Koopa held like 95% of all the picks.
Oh, well, that's even better. Way to go, Koopa. Way to keep that thing really cooking, man.
Don't worry, the rest of his team's dog shit.
I mean, if you had all the picks, I was hoping. I would assume that's the case. If you had a great team and you had all the picks, that'd be like insane.
It's IDP 202, Adam. So it's an IDP league. You know how juiced up that is. Bad on Koopa though. Like he went with this strategy that it was a terrible defensive draft. So fucking poor guy. R.I.P.
With that being said, Koopa, we love you. I said nothing negative. Only Mike did. So let that be what
upcoming
it is.
shows, just so you know, right? I mentioned earlier, Matt Dennis is going to be doing a podcast for us. Look for that in the next couple weeks. Fizzle Fridays. Make sure you're tapping into the live stream. Monday night, mock draft. Listen, you still got rookie drafts going on or upcoming. We still got some stragglers. We're going to do a mock draft with the South Harmon crew.
Love it.
Y'all are invited. I'll drop the room link in there when we get started, and it'll fill up fast. But live draft mock stream Monday nights,
and make sure if Savage Semester is going to be coming back at some point here pretty soon. So make sure if you want to be a part of that. It's literally what are we going to do? Are we going to do every other week this time, or how are we going to run that? You think?
Let's do every other week.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a part of it, you want to be on camera, you want to be with us asking the questions, you want to see it. First off, you got to be in the Patreon.
Correct.
It's not for the public, just for the Patreon. But if you want to be on stream, Savage Chat. And the Savage Chat's not only worth it, just for Savage Semester, which is fucking incredible.
Savage Semester, though, Mike, is I think one of the most
the pinnacle.
It's one of the best. It's probably one of the best bang for your buck that you can get. Like every week, Mike and I coming on there drinking. Every now and again, you might catch us in a really heated, not necessary argument.
Juju Smith-Schuster
versus Brandon Cooks, right? And you might be confused when we, end the stream and people think we're mad. But no, there's a lot of really good discussions, and you can be a part of it. It's basically like a recorded video call, right? That's basically what it is. So you want to come talk shop, you want to talk about your teams, or you need to listen to someone else. That's what Savage Semester is, but it's a blast, man. Love Savage Semester.
Love y'all, though. A lot of good stuff coming up. You guys made this. South Harmon only getting bigger. Adam put out a stream. 24 is our year. You ain't lying, man. So far, so good.
Listen, I called the shot early. I didn't get a jersey 24 like the draft, by the way. I'm not going to kill that. All right, I'm not going to do that. But we appreciate everyone tapping in. We'll see you back here We'll see you back here. It won't be the same time, but we might do it live again next week. We may do it live here and there. It'll be the same place on Saturday. We'll see you there. We're out of this thing. Peace.
Peace.